Lunoscope Meister Singer. Wonder how much that thing is. Let me guess. $35,000 maybe. Omega Seamaster 11.7. Leica at 10,000 pounds. The Grand Seiko I think is like $6,000. This is an affordable watch. That's what they say. The Tudor Black Bay GMT at 3.5K. There's a Panerai Luminor for $11,000. There's an Oris Big Crown Pro Pilot World Timer for $3,600. I'm sure they think that's a deal too. Yes, I do have a point to all this. This is a knife review, don't get confused. I'll start with this one because this is a pretty good example. I just happened into this Oris. By the way, I think this is a great watch. I really love the hands. I like the Arabic markings on it. I like the case. I love Oris. I just think they're out of my price league for both myself personally and for my audience. So maybe I'll review one time. I'll get one on loan. I think they're great. But here's the deal. And this phenomena, again, is going on in the knife world. These expensive watches that you see in this magazine, dude, the bottom is falling out in them. I.e., people don't want to pay the money anymore. They keep canceling or downsizing Baselworld. Look, there's a freaking Nomos for $4,800. People just don't want to pay it anymore. At least, I don't know, younger people, they just go, no thank you. I'm not going to spend $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 on a watch. Look at this one. $30,000 for this one. There's another Oris. So, and this is going to be my point. So, do I go out and spend $2,000 on this one, which again in the luxury watch world is considered affordable, or do I just be happy with this Hilfiger fashion watch, which is fantastic for $100? By the way, notice the handset. It's the same as the Oris. It's an homage to Oris. Those are the same hands. And they have clear Arabic markings. I don't even know if I need to do a programming job on this one. Really nice stainless steel bracelet. $100. It's going to last. It's got a quality movement in it. I've taken it apart, looked at it. It's as good as any other. It's not an automatic movement, but even an auto you could get in this. Maybe not this fashion watch brand, but another brand for $250. Great watch. I do love Oris, but holy crap. Generally $2,000, no. So what is happening is, like I said, the bottom is falling out. People just say, uncle. You know, more and more consumers just like, I'm not going to go to a retail outlet and spend $10,000 on a watch. I just won't do it. And that's happening more and more. And now we go into what's going on in the knife world. So here I'm reviewing the AKC Xtreme Ace automatic blade. The price at Blade HQ is $65. The quality of the build, pretty excellent. So does that motivate people when they see a knife like this, which was heretofore unavailable like 10 years ago? Like 10 years ago when I was doing TMP, I didn't see knives of this quality at this price level. I didn't. What I would see is the Protechs, which are fantastic. I love them. The Microtechs, fantastic. I love them. Maybe some Daltons, fantastic. I love them. For really expensive prices, several $100s. And that was kind of like the entry fee into automatic blades. I've always talked about and ranted about why they're so expensive. Well, apparently AKC, a brand I haven't been familiar with up until now, has figured out, and they go, well, they're really not that expensive to make. Kind of like the watches. So when I've been programming these watches, well over 100 at this point, taking them apart, changing the hands on them. Here again is a Santo Vintage Pilot, modified by myself. I go, why are watches so expensive? Marketing. It's just image. They're selling an image. You'll see it on the back of every watch magazine right here. Usually they'll use like, I don't know, celebrities or something, and they're selling an image. And they were able to do that in years past, but the bottom is falling out. It will not be that way in the future. They're going to have to change the way they do business. Maybe the knife makers will as well. Maybe they have to revisit their pricing schedule. And I'm talking about all the major manufacturers, because you have a company like this, offshore produced, no doubt. Let me see what the box says. It's Indiana. Just kidding. Made in Taiwan. Offshore produced. But when you can get a knife of this quality for $65, and I will do a Protech review. I love the one that I will review. It will kind of sidle up next to this one in the postings. Guys aren't going to want to spend that amount of money on it. They won't. They'll go out and get this one. Italian stiletto design influence, pretty high quality levels. The AKC Xtreme Ace is a win. Highly recommended. Let's get into the details as we contemplate how the markets of knives and watches not is but has changed already with such products as these. Look at the handle. Available in OD, black, and another color I'm forgetting. And they may come out with different colorations as well. There's no real traction plan on this one, right? We don't have like knurling or checkering, but we see that a lot in automatic blades. I have talked about it a fair amount, and I don't know why that is. That is another thing that needs to change. We need to have traction plans on automatic knives that really work, that are not obnoxious, that are well thought out. There's a lot of options. Just because we have to have two hot halves of an aluminum handle set, probably 6000 series aluminum here, doesn't mean we can't have traction. They are not mutually exclusive. Usually I resort to, you know it, adding skateboard tape. I haven't done it to this one yet. But the coloration on this one is fantastic, don't you think? Maybe if you didn't know the price of this, you would say, oh, that's a pretty cool knife. You look at the action, you examine it, I bet you would probably say, oh, 150 bucks, maybe $200. We see Piranhas at that price level. The other brands I mentioned. You know, the Recon, what is the Recon 35? That one's well over $200. This one's $65. Use my link below. $65? Oh my goodness. How's the handle in hand? A little bit on the short side for me. I have large size hands, but there's no hot spots other than the clip. That's normal. Really nice. It's kind of got some bevel guards right here. A little bit funky in appearance, but I don't mind them. They're different. Kind of a coffin-shaped handle. Good chamfering going on here. No hot spots. I mean, the finishing on this anodizing is pretty excellent. I didn't go test it, see if it'd chip off. But even if it did, who cares? It's $65. It just looks cooler when you beat it up. Makes it look like you really use your knives, and that's always a good thing. The clip is not deep carry per se. You got about a ½ inch of the Xtreme Ace sticking out of the pocket. But other than that, it's pretty good. We'll accept thick tactical pants. They put the screws on the outside so we don't have any encroachment of the interior clip space, which is always a positive thing. I never recommend taking these coil-fired autos apart. Not never. Don't do it. You'll have a hard time getting them back together. Here's your deployment button. It's non-knurled. There's no safety on it, and I don't have a problem with that. There might be a criticism level that it's not recessed and that you might actuate it in pocket. I could kind of see that. And I have not carried this in the pocket to test it. But let me show you what I'm talking about. So, I mean, if it's in your pocket, clipped, and then you bump it, is it going to come out? You know, go ask the owl. It could. It seems like this button, though, really has to have a direct push to deploy it. And look at how that came out. Let me demonstrate that again. $65. Oh, F-35 just took a Vulcan hit. He's pissed. He didn't break. Let me raise it up higher. That's so funny. Okay, look at how fast that comes out, dude. That's awesome. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. That's faster than my Piranha that I have. I've shown you the Piranha so many times, and that thing's slow compared to this. So that's a nice coil spring in that. Don't you think, F-35 pilot? Nice lettering on there, the AKC Xtreme. And again, this is a new brand for me. I haven't reviewed any of their knives before. They do make an F-16 double action OTF dagger, and that was like 50 bucks. The F-16, maybe I'll throw a link to that below. I want to get one of those and review it too. I bet you that one's excellent too for 50 bucks. Oh, by the way, this is not the only like relatively low priced auto that I've reviewed. I mean, freak, how much airtime have I given to the Lightnings, right? This is a non-TMP version, the yellow version. Better make sure I don't take out F-35 guy again. Love these knives. They're so excellent. I mean, they're just fast. They're inexpensive. There's that wear and tear I'm talking about. Remember I said just beat your knives up. Be happy. At this price point. I mean, you're not going to turn this and sell it. It's not a collectible. It's a user knife. Makes you happy. The Lightning. I love that yellow color. That's really cool. So how's the lockup on this? Like perfect. Take that, Meister Singer. Perfect. Wow, I'm really surprised how great that lockup is. There's your stop pin here on the Ace. Kind of like that name. I should have my Ace patch on the table, dudes. Where's my freaking Ace patch? Probably not even going to find it now that I need it. Oh, there it is right here. We'll swap that one out with my Ace patch. That is more appropriate. So glad I could find it. The AKC Xtreme Ace. Really a nice knife. 3.4 ounces too, so it's not very heavy. Dagger blade. Technically called a spear point. How's the edge? Pretty good, actually. And by the way, this is AKC 8 steel, so it's not 8CR, it's not D2. I don't mind AKC 8. I really don't. And this knife probably isn't going to see a lot of use. Applications, i.e. philosophy of use, what would you use it for? I think primarily as an EDC knife in those states or localities where it's legal to carry a blade like this, and I think more and more it is. It's like legal in a lot more states now to carry automatic knives, as it should be. It's just ridiculous. EDC blade, I wouldn't classify this as a tactical blade at all. And as a play blade, kind of like that Lightning. I mean, it's just fun to play with. You know, it's a side deploying automatic blade for very little money. Really nice build quality. There's your centering, by the way. My gosh, I really like this knife. For the money, it's a no-brainer, dude. No-brainer. By the way, this is I think a North Dakota, no, Madison, Wisconsin F-16. It's a A&G unit. Look at the tail flash on this thing. I think you've seen it before. I've shown it to you. This is a Dragon Wings, discontinued. I mean, this model's not even available anymore. It's die-cast, not plastic. I don't have any ordnance on it because I wanted it clean. And then it's stacking up against the F-35 that's still seething that I got taken out by the Ace. I've shown this in other KRV. Super awesome. It's in STOL or VTOL takeoff configuration, probably stall configuration. There you go. Highly recommended, the AKC Ace. Maybe I'll get a hold of that F-16 as well, and we'll review that later. Nothing fancy.